Well, yay, it's finally Friday. So doing this class slash training, I really didn't know what the name of it was. Miles per gallon. No, I forget what the other two things were. Some system 2.0, and overall, it's like, whatever. It's just standard stuff, right? And really, what this class is about is the fact that we're going all automatic, slowly but surely. Actually, most of the manuals are gone at this point, and so the technology has leapt forward quite a bit, like a lot. And me being somebody that's drove manual for 22 years, and now they put me in they're going to end up putting me in an automatic. I'm thinking, oh great, well, I guess less to think about, right? Just put it in drive, hit the throttle, hit the brake, that's it. And when they hand these trucks out, and I think a lot of companies may be in this boat, but I mean, Walmart's definitely been in this boat where they hand these trucks out and they're like, well, here's the truck, go. And it's like, come to find out, there's a ton of stuff that extremely matters. And it's funny because I've always had all these questions like, well, it's kind of a big deal. If I'm 80,000 pounds, I'm going down a steep grade. I kind of need to know where this thing's going to be shifting, or can I manually shift it, or is the Jake's going to work the same, or something like that, or, snowy, icy conditions. I don't really want the thing just shifting whenever it wants, or, applying a lot more power or less power at inopportune or inappropriate times. Because the more I learn about this, it's like it's going to have more torque at this point, but less at another, based on what modes you put it in, or what you did with the throttle, or whether you've tapped the brake, or whether just the amount of factors are numerous. And so I've always had all these questions. Well, what about all that? And see, that was without the knowledge of, it's not just put it in drive or reverse and hit throttle and hit brake. Far from that. Massive amount of modes, massive amount of situations, massive amount of features, and every single one of them will affect what you're doing and make it a problem if you don't have it in the right mode, or if you're not using the right feature, or you're not turning off some of these things, And so we're on break time now, so I mean, I've only kind of just dipped into this, but obviously I would have never thought that there would be this demand of information that I need to get out to all you guys. Now, you may work for a company that didn't do that. They made darn sure that they gave you all the info. You watched all the DVDs. They had classes. Well, we just haven't done that, not until now. And so far, they've basically just been handing the keys out, going, well, here you go. Here's a checklist with all the DVDs and things you need to be watching. By the way, we don't have those, so here's the keys, start trucking. And no more. Now, it's going to be one thorough class here on this whole thing. There's a bunch to come. I can already see now I'm going to have to make multiple videos about this. And this will be useful, not just for Walmart drivers. It's going to be useful for most drivers, because, most companies are all going to be going automatic. That's just the way it is. And leading reason why is because these trucks with these features and this technology, as usual, the government, whether it be state or federal, they all have these requirements. I mean, good example would be like emissions, what the truck is putting into the air or the atmosphere. And so they have these filtration systems that, filter your exhaust, and then they have to be cleaned. And if any of you drive truck, this has been an issue, especially back in the earlier days, of just a big hassle for you. And so a lot of this stuff is happening that way. Well, by having an automatic, basically they have more control over the system. And so your control of it is minimum until you learn all this stuff, and then you take back control just like you always had in a manual. So in a sense, you're like relearning to drive. And I would have called BS on this prior to this class, but now I see no, it's not. This is real. Yes, you will be relearning everything. Hey, you can go out there and just get in the truck and hit the throttle and go, but you're gonna have more complaints and problems than unbelievably amount because you're not doing it right. And so I'm gonna do my best to get all the info. I can already see this is going to be a huge undertaking because, I mean, I can see right now I can make 30 to 40 videos on this alone, hitting each feature and why it matters and how it's going to screw you up if you don't do it right or you don't choose it right. So that's what's happening today on my Friday. So I'm doing my best to take notes and get screenshots and everything else and share it with all you guys. So that's what's happening. I'll be back. Okay, so getting towards the end of the day on this class / training. So far we've looked at how all this new technology in these trucks, which is a lot, trust me, how it's made a difference, in which we were shown exactly how much of a difference that made on a graph shortly after someone had done this class, or a whole region had done this class. Pretty dramatic. And so now we're going into some other stuff that has to do with not the technology so much, but just practices and things like that. Pretty interesting class. I'm going to give you a full update here, or at least a full overview at the end of the day. Okay, so class is over. Spent about 7 hours in this class, and most all of this was about the DT12 Detroit and the Freightliner. Basically, mostly all the safety features, but a lot of this stuff had to do with the drivetrain, the motor, transmission, this kind of thing, to be able to control your vehicle better, get better fuel mileage, get the most out of it, really. And I know a lot of companies out there are all going automatic. So, I mean, I know this must be good information that it'll be handy, I'm sure of it. But some of the stuff we talked about was like the IPM system, which is Intelligent Powertrain Management. And some of the modes that it has, like the coast control, I guess basically coast mode, like going down a hill, steep hill, crest coast, dip coast, things like that. Driving modes, e-coast, auto neutral, downhill over speeds, the Assurance 5.0 system, which does automatic wipers and lamps and high beams and, just all kinds of stuff. Some of the system of the Assurance 5.0 would be like the braking on moving pedestrians. It knows it's a person because it sees the hips moving when they walk versus it could be a deer. And so it'll do a hard braking or full braking when it sees a person, but it won't do that with an animal. A lot of you probably may already know about a lot of this, but for me, going from a manual, and I'll be going at some point into an automatic with all this stuff in it, I mean, it's pretty important, I think, to know all this. I mean, really, in a sense, it's like relearning to drive, But, so let's see, all I did was the class today, and so I made $341 in 7 hours going to the class. And so my ADP is 427 generally. Well, at least right now it is. So I just added in. I could have went out on a short run, but I just wanted to go home, and they were fine with that. So I just added in some of my ADP. brought it up to 427 and called it a day. But yeah, a lot of good information. I think I'm going to be doing some more videos on this, and we'll see if you guys find it interesting. So there's my Friday. Next 3 days I'm off, but like I've said, I want to do 30 days of updates. So I still have some videos for you guys for the next 3 days, and then once Monday, actual Monday, and my Monday, which they actually line up at this time, I'll be back on the road doing it again. So all right, till then, I'll catch you guys later.